car. Major oversteer there. Oh. We're able to control it there. In today's video, I'm going to be back in let's say car driving with the Alfa Romeo Giulia, and we're going to taking this thing on the track for a challenge. Now the rules are we cannot crash this thing and we cannot spin it out. Sounds pretty simple. Hopefully it goes simple, but let's launch this thing in 3, 2, 1. Blast off. Crazy tire spin. You're searching for traction. Oh my gosh. But we're changing the gears ourselves because this thing, when we have it in sport, I feel like the gears are a little bug or there's a little delay, and it's not my fault. I didn't change the gearbox, I didn't change the final drive, I didn't change anything. Maybe I should have tried to fix it, but I don't think it's gonna really help unless the game like remodel this car and look into it. I feel like it's more of the gearbox than the gear ratios that's the problem. So we're going to be shifting the gears ourselves. Hopefully that helps. I don't know if it's going to be an advantage or a disadvantage. I think it should be an advantage. I mean, I'm pretty good at shifting gears. Well, I'm not doing it in full manual. Oh my gosh, my game is lagging majorly. This is a very bad sign, especially this early in the video. I don't like to see lag any at all, but it's starting to smoothen out, and this thing is oversteering as well. This thing is a fully rear wheel drive car, so there's no all wheel drive to help us. We don't really have an advantage right now like the other cars, or some of them. Not every car is all wheel drive, of course, but this thing is rear wheel drive, so we gotta be very careful because this thing is very slidey. I do have the race tires equipped and I did change the suspension and all of that stuff, but this thing is still very slidey, so we gotta be very careful. But the fact that we are shifting the gears, I think I do have a little advantage. Whenever I see this thing start to spin the tires, I lose traction, I can just switch gear real quick, and that should cut the power to the tires. Hopefully that's what it does. I don't think it's gonna do anything different. That's what I have in mind, and I'm hoping that's what it does. But so far this thing is doing relatively okay. I do see it want to oversteer on me from time to time or go into a power slide, but as long as we don't give it too much power, we're preventing it from doing that. And I'm not really going full send like how I could with some other cars, because every car has their special handling or their differences. This thing is a lot more slidey. You gotta be very careful. And when I say that, I don't mean that in any understatement. We gotta be so careful, it's not even funny. Like 1 second on the gas too long and we're pretty much putting this thing into a spin out. So we gotta be very mindful of that. We can floor it on the stretch, but we gotta be very careful on these turns, because these turns are not turns that are very friendly. These turns will try to kill you if you're not careful. Another thing that I'm just realizing, even though I'm not really paying attention, is the fact that the feet are glitching through the seat. I don't like that at all. It's not really a major deal, but for me who loves to play in first person, I don't really like. I mean, I can avoid it, but I do not like this view. This view seems suicidal, but I'm gonna do it for a little bit. Let's see how it goes. Well, actually, this view is not that bad. If we do hit a slope or we hit a road that's higher than us, it's very bad. But if the road is flat and straight, it's not that bad actually. But I don't really like this view. It's way too close. But we do kind of eliminate the problem of seeing our foot glitch through the seat. But this view is it's nice if you're going downhill, but uphill you're gonna have a major problem because the steering wheel and the hood of the car is pretty much gonna block your vision. What about right here? I mean, we can still see, but it's not as bad as all the way zoomed out. Okay, now we can kind of floor it a bit, but we still gotta be very careful. Okay, let's start slowing it down. Whoa. This thing also, we can lock up the tires very easily, as you saw there. We gotta be very careful. There's so many things that can go wrong in this thing. It's not even funny. The fact that we're able to keep it straight without any crash or spin out so far on the map means that we're doing pretty good, and we can make it to the end if we keep it up just like this. But I'm also not going as fast as I can, because I can flow through some of these turns, but then I'll just be making the car oversteer and act crazy and all of that stuff. Slow inputs are control here. You don't want to be going or doing too much, because this car is very crazy if you're not careful. On the straightaways, it's not bad to like floor it or like go a bit fast, but we still gotta be very mindful that this thing is an absolute beast and it just wants to unleash all the powers and go sideways sideways straight into the barrier. What I don't even know which word I said first. I'm starting to like stumble over my words and I'm just like saying random words. I feel like every time I'm doing a car that's very stressful to drive, I start saying random words and random stuff. That's just how much I'm focused. I don't even know what I'm saying. Whenever I'm doing a car that's stressful to drive, this thing is actually, it's not really stressful if we're not trying to go full send, but if we're like trying to go super fast through every turn and all of that stuff, it would be very stressful because we'd have to do a lot of work to keep this thing straight. And we're still doing a lot of work to keep it straight, even though it's not sliding over the place. That's because I'm putting in very controlled outputs. Like, I'm not even holding the keys on the keyboard, bro. I'm just tap 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 tap. That's why it's so loud, you can hear it. I'm just tapping the keys, bro. I don't want to floor this thing too hard, especially on certain bits. This bits is very crazy, and I don't want to hold the brakes too long, else the tires are gonna lock up, and if the front tires lock up, we're cooked. There's no saving the car. Major oversteer there. Oh, we're able to control it there. We're good. I can't tell if my game is lagging or I'm just driving very slow. Like, I don't even know. Okay, let's floor it. Okay, the game is not lagging. We're just driving a bit slow. Bro, this car seems like it's very unstable. It seems mad, bro. I don't even know if it's the gearbox or what. This car just seems like it just wants to do some crazy stuff. Like, Mustang is rooted in its nature, but it's just like it wants to spin out every time I hit the gas. But I gotta prevent it from doing that because I don't want this thing to fail the challenge either. Oh, you see, every time I hit the gas, bro, the tires just start spinning and it goes crazy. But I'm just gonna switch gear and like ease up off the gas to cancel out that tire spin or the loose off grip. Because once we switch gears and we ease up off the gas, it should stop the tires from spinning and regain grip. Hopefully, that's what I have in mind. That's what it's gonna do. I'm not sure if that's what it's gonna do all the time, but I know that that's what usually happens after you do that. After you change gear and ease up off the gas, it should stop the tires from spinning and you regain grip. As I said, the keyword there was should. I'm not sure if that's what's gonna happen. But if you do switch gear and remain on the gas, you're you're setting yourself up for disaster. Because that means you're just gonna make the tires spin even faster. And if you're not trying to have that at that specific moment, that's gonna be very, very bad for you. You're gonna have a bad day. But if you switch gear and don't hit the gas, you do the opposite of what I just said. After that, you should be good. Whatever you do, as long as you shift gear and don't hit the gas, you're okay. But if you're still on the gas or hit the gas after, there's no coming back from that. Especially if the car is already sideways, bro. You're making tires spin insanely faster. You're done for. But so far, oh my gosh, yo, what? How am I 7? Yo, this is gonna be the longest time I ever had in a video. Yo, I don't even believe this, bro. This is the first time I'm doing a lap this long on the track, bro. 7 4. What? Yo, I don't believe this, bro. The game has to be bugging. Am I driving that slow? Or is the game lagging? I don't even know. But this is the worst time I've ever had in history. This video is gonna make history for the longest lap, bro. But I feel like my game is also lagging. I can't tell if it's lagging or if the car is just struggling for the car is struggling for traction on my game. I don't even know what's happening. Whoa, we're going very fast into this turn. Keep it. Bro, this is gonna be the longest lap I ever had in the map, and it's not even funny. Usually I don't watch time, but to see that I'm 8 hours or minutes into the lap and I'm not even at the halfway through is crazy. I've never done a lap this long, and I don't know if the game is bugging or if I'm just driving so slow. Bro, this thing does not have traction. You can see the traction there in the bottom right fighting for its life. Keep it. Being in third person here is very risky with a rear wheel drive car. But I need some third person action because this thing is struggling for traction every time I hit the gas. You guys can see the traction control there. It's fighting for its life pretty much. Look at that. You can see the tires screeching, bro. This thing is fighting for its life. Oh my gosh. I wonder if I have the drifters equipped by accident. I really... Wait, no. There's no way I could have the drifters equipped because this thing would be a lot slidier. It's slidey, but it's not as slidey as it would be with the drift tire. So I know there's no way, but I'm still gonna double check once I reach the end. But I'm calling it I'm 10 minutes or 10 hours into this lap. Oh my god, yo, this is the longest lap I ever had. This video is gonna make history for me. Bro, this thing is struggling for traction. Oh my gosh. Like every time you hit the gas, bro, the tires are just screeching. This thing has zero grip whenever I'm flooring it. Look at it be... Okay, my game is definitely lagging as well, bro. But this is the bit where it always starts to lag. My game is lagging and I'm driving slow, so that's definitely adding to how I'm this long into the lap. But I feel like this thing is just struggling for traction so bad it's not even funny. And the fact that I'm able to keep it straight without it spinning out is actually pretty impressive. This is the first car that I've seen struggle for traction this bad. Yo, that could have been horrible, but we're good. As you can see there, I didn't hit the gas any at all. I didn't shift gears, but I didn't hit the gas. I kind of just let the car self-centered there. I was turned, well, I was counter steer. The car didn't really counter steer there, or I added some angle, but I was not on the gas any at all during that spin out. Bro, I think I'm gonna finish this lap in like 13 something, or maybe even 14 at this point. I can't believe how long I've actually, bro. I'm really wondering if I don't even know how. How is the time moving faster? Did the game add an update where the time moves faster, bro? That has to be the explanation, because I don't even feel like I've been in the lap this long, bro. I don't even know how. But so far, I mean, this thing is doing okay. I mean, I had a few close calls, many close calls to be honest, but it's doing okay. But it's definitely struggling, and it's struggling very, very hard for traction. Okay, I'm almost at the end. Yeah, I'm gonna get 13 something for the time. Whoa, it's getting crazy on me. But the most important thing is that this thing makes it to the end without me spinning it out or crash it. That means that it passed the challenge, and it doesn't matter how long it takes, as long as we pass the challenge, we're good. I think I can say this thing is gonna successfully pass the challenge, because we're pretty much at the end. There's still a room for error here because this thing is rear-wheel drive, so we're gonna be careful here, because this thing can still try to spin out on me like it's trying to do right now. Oh my gosh, that was a very nerve-wracking lap. Oh my gosh. But the Alfa Romeo successfully passed the challenge. It's still struggling for traction. Oh my gosh. Yo, this thing is struggling for traction, bro. It's like these tires are not even... They don't have tread. We need to verify if we have the drifters or race tires equipped, because I think that's gonna do a lot of clarity right now. I really need to see which tires I have. Look at that. Hit the gas and the traction control sensor is already on. This thing does not have any. Look at that. Don't worry about it bouncing up in the air. We're not really worried about that. We're worrying about the traction control. Okay, if I did have the drifters equipped, it would start to do a power slide there, but it didn't. So I'm pretty sure I don't have the drifters equipped. But just to verify if this thing is actually the hardest struggling car in the game for traction, which tires are equipped? Race, okay. We do not have the drift tires equipped, we have the race tires equipped. This thing is struggling, this thing does not have grip. But I'm gonna show you guys. I don't recommend you guys setting up the car to handle like this. Honestly, I mean, it did take the turns okay, but in terms of traction, this thing was struggling. It was struggling, but I'm still gonna show you guys the setup. But I recommend you guys, if you have this car, test it out on your own, because I'm probably gonna change some of these stuff. But this is how I have it set up. Hold up, let me see. I didn't change anything for the rear there, but for the rear stiffness, this is how I have it. For the damping, the rear damping, height offset, the rear wheel offset, the rear, the gearbox. I didn't change anything, bro. The gear. I don't know which gear which system gearbox this thing has or type, but it's bugged out for some reason. Like it has a delay when the car shifting gears on its own. You have to put in like semi or manual if you want it to shift a little better than it would automatically. Final drive, I didn't really change that. The rear diff power, this is how I have it. The rear diff coast, the rear diff preload. The steering, I definitely recommend you changing it to like this or even more. You probably need a little more steering angle. But this thing was struggling for. This is one of the hardest or most stressful cars I've taken on the track. This thing was struggling for traction. It was very rough. But it made it through the challenge in one piece, which I'm actually very surprised. Very surprised. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you found it helpful.